This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's talk about Greenwood, South Carolina. It's a TV taping for Worldwide. And, of course, you're going to be doing a promo with David David Crockett. And in the promo, you say, hey, we take a lot of beatings, but we only need one shot to turn the tide and win. And Ole then starts noting the big cities that they had competed in. And he starts name dropping Andre the Giant, Bill Watts, Bruno Sammartino. These are all the men that the Andersons had defeated or ran from. And then Ole said they're going to fend off the challenge of Manny Fernandez and Thunderbolt Patterson. This is all happening while David Crockett is your stick man. It's an interesting strategy, mentioning the WWF staple, Bruno Sammartino, and of course, Andre the Giant, and another territory guy like Bill Watts. It feels as if, he's trying to lay the seeds. I don't know, create a little controversy. Is that an Ole thing or is that a Crockett thing?
Well, his history was with all those guys.
Right.
His history also was being the owner / booker.
Yeah.
When he fought all those guys, which tells me he fared pretty well. So all those people across the country that were watching that TV remembered the Andersons and those battles that they had with those guys. None of those included me, but I think Ole just went because he could.
Yeah, sure.
He name dropped. It was all accurate statements that he made, and the people that knew, and the other ones that didn't. He was just Ole Anderson being an asshole and cutting a hell of a promo.
With us right now, the National Tag Team Champions, Ole Anderson and Arn Anderson.
David Crockett, everywhere we go, people saying, every time we see the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, they're getting a fool beat out of them. They're getting punched, they're getting kicked, and they're just people just like Manny Fernandez. We'll get on to him. But the only thing, the point I'm trying to make, David Crockett, is, yes, we do take a lot of punishment. We do take a lot of punches. But all we want is just to get one in. If we can get one in, then we take over and we do it the way we want to do it. And that's Anderson style. And you know what that's all about from years past.
Mr. Ole Anderson.
Even the biggest man goes down. You sit there and you nibble away a little bit at a time, and he's got to go. I don't care who you're talking about. You think about the people that we've beaten. We're up around that New York area. We're up around Baltimore and Washington, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Charlotte, Greensboro, wherever we happen to be. I'm sure somebody in the crowd will remember. Somebody watching TV is going to remember, oh, yeah, that's right. The Andersons did beat Andre the Giant. Oh, yeah, out in Oklahoma, they did beat Bill Watts. Oh, that's right, up in Pittsburgh in that area. I think Bruno Sammartino even retired because the Anderson brothers were coming that way. Well, Manny Fernandez, you and Thunderbolt Patterson or Dusty Rhodes or any one of you better really stop and think. Because when you get in the ring against us, you're not going to get a couple of fancy guys. Oh, no. You're going to get two of the toughest and two of the meanest guys in the world. You're looking at the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. And David, a lot of times you and I, we don't agree. I know, we don't agree with a lot of people. But the one thing that you and everybody else has to agree, we're awful doggone good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the National Tag Team Champions, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Now let's go to the ring.
So there you go. You can, Tony and I talk about this a lot whenever we see these promos that are done in front of a live studio audience like this. Usually because we're doing live to tape, you would have the guys go ahead and start making their way to the ring, and the competitors are just standing around the ring waiting on the promo to finish, and then they'll start wrestling. Well, that allows the fans to start yelling and hooting and hollering and chanting. And I thought, man, that's got to be distracting to the guys who are trying to do a promo. And it sort of takes you out of the moment from their promo and what they're trying to say. And it felt like right there, you were even falling victim to that a little bit too. They're hooting and hollering. It caused you to lose your train of thought a little bit. Now, of course, years later on Raw and Nitro and things like that, you're just going to be doing promos right in the middle of the ring. But that had to be a little challenging to pretend as if the fans aren't there and ignore them, but go ahead and say what you got to say.
Yeah, sometimes it would break your concentration, but that's all part about becoming a better, bigger, stronger professional. You learn to tune that out. You learn to focus in on what you're trying to say. Just in my voice at that point, I wasn't, whatever reason, I wasn't as cocky or confident or whatever I should have been that night. That wasn't me at my best by a long shot. I think I was still learning. I know I was still learning. And when you're standing there by Ole Anderson, I don't care what anybody says. It's a little bit intimidating, even though he's my partner. And, you know, he certainly didn't have any problem with his confidence. You know, that was a great promo. I had no problem believing it. You?
No, he spoke so comfortably, so confidently. I mean, if he tells you it's raining, I'm going to go ahead and grab the umbrella. I'm believing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, you know, he wasn't screaming, just very intelligent, articulate in the names he dropped. And I knew he would do something like that. For you people that know, you've seen it. There was a history there. He probably didn't name one person that him and Gene did not have a history with. So shit, all he did was tell the truth, but he just did it in a way that, man, I really don't like that guy, but don't tell him I said so.
You gotta get excited about saving people all those dollars. They can limousine ride and jet fly now with that extra cash.
And they can style and profile with a quick 10-minute phone call right now to 425-0105.
That's 425-0105. Woo!
SaveWithConrad.com. Next up, May 22nd, Dorton Arena. You're in singles action against Pez Watley. On the 23rd, we're at the Norfolk Scope. This time, it's Ole and Arn taking on Manny Fernandez, but no Thunderbolt. This time, it's Sam Houston. How was Sam as an opponent here in mid-85?
That made for a great scenario for a match. So we did Sam. I would figure we get Sam in and
get the heat on him.
Let him look good. You know, let Sam show the audience that he was talented and that he should have been in that spot. Remember, there's always that question of how does a guy get in that spot, because we were pretty much the top team, right? Heel team. So you better let the audience see first why he's in that spot. Manny comes in, Manny kicks a little ass. We get Sam back in. Now we're in the heat, and we beat the dog shit out of Sam, which he was fine with. He really had no choice. He was stuck in Anderson land. That's not a pleasant place to be. And it made for building towards that hot tag and having Manny come in and kick some ass. And what was the result?
You won.
Beautiful. That's who should have won. And I'm sure that made for a very pleasant house show match.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.